Hey, it's Nick with the Scoreboard Addicts podcast. We're going to give you a quick down and dirty with the things that are going on in our local sports area these days. Today, Mike White was ruled out for Sunday's game against the Lions, which puts Zach Wilson in the position to be the starter. And of course, the haters are out and they're expecting a loss and whatnot, as if Zach Wilson hadn't gone 5-2 prior to his being benched. Now, I'm not sitting here expecting the world from Zach Wilson, but I do think that the New York Jets are more than capable to beat the Detroit Lions, who are one of the worst defenses in the NFL. And we'll see what happens. You know, you never know. I'm going to continue to believe. I'm a Jets fan, and for me, I'm going to root for whoever's under center, and I'm not going to sit here and count them out simply because maybe they haven't had a good showing up to this point. In other news, the Yankees signed the much sought-after left-hander Carlos Rodon from the San Francisco Giants, and he'll now be slotted in as either the number 1 or number 2 starter. That leaves the Yankee starting rotation with Garrett Cole, Nestor Cortez, Rodon, Luis Severino, and Frankie Montas, which is more than capable rotation on paper. And we'll see how that translates to actually playing in games. But it bodes well for the New York Yankees. Carlos Correa signed with the San Francisco Giants earlier this week, while the Mets re-signed Brandon Nimmo. The New York Rangers and the New York Knicks are both on 5-game win streaks. The game yesterday actually had Jimmy Vesey scoring 2 goals against his former team, the Toronto Maple Leafs. And the New York Rangers are on a bit of a tear, and that's great for New York hockey. And New York Knicks look pretty solid right now. I'm not a big basketball guy, but the Knicks have won 5 straight, and that's always a good thing too. I can't say how sad it is that the Knicks play in the mecca of basketball, and they play very, very badly there. So to see that they're on a 5-game win streak is outstanding, if you ask me. The Giants play again on Sunday. Again, New York Jets and New York Giants fighting for their playoff hopes, I guess, for the season, and they're kind of in the very similar positions, which is good. I mean, you couldn't have hoped for a better scenario for New York sports prior to the season. I don't think anybody saw this coming. The Giants play the Commanders in a very big game. They're both 7-5-1, and this game may have huge playoff implications. So it looks like both teams in New York are ready for a postseason potential. And we'll see where we end up after Sunday. Huge snow going to hit Buffalo tonight. Saturday going into Sunday. Roughly around 9 inches of snow for that Buffalo Bills versus Miami Dolphins game. And I saw one of these pundits out there, I think on the Dan Le Batard show, said something ridiculous along the lines that like NFL should force Buffalo to have a dome over their new stadium, or they're not allowed to have a franchise because the weather is not nice enough. Absolutely ridiculous. Most ludicrous thing I've ever heard of. Bad weather happens all over the place. It happens in Buffalo. It happens in Chicago. It happens in Green Bay. It happens in Ohio. It happens in Pittsburgh. To sit there and try to say like, oh, Buffalo is the problem, stop it. Just say that you're the Dan Le Batard show and you're Miami Dolphins fans and you don't want your soft-ass team from the South having to play a team in the cold in the North. That's what it comes down to. It snows in New England as well. All right, it's just a ludicrous, absolutely ridiculous take to put out there. Elements are part of the game of football. Unless it makes it dangerous that fans cannot get to the stadium, there's no reason that they can't have a team simply because the weather is not nice enough. Moving forward, hopefully we have a good weekend of football. People get safe. Health goes out there to Mike White. One last thing, Zonovan Bam Knight won the Pepsi Rookie of the Week. Jets Nation always shows up for their players, and he's got himself a Rookie of the Week. Hopefully Jermaine Johnson plays out this weekend, gets maybe 2 sacks, and he can be up there on the board for the Rookie of the Week next week, and we get that one too, and that would make, I think it'd be 4, maybe 5 players on winning that Rookie of the Week belt. I think the NFL is going to have to, or Pepsi rather, is going to have to change the way that they vote on that next season if Jets fans keep showing out like they did. Pro Bowl voting will be released, I believe, later today or tomorrow, and we'll see where that land all these Jets players. I know a lot of Jets fans were out there trying to make that happen, but we'll see where we end up. Until our next beer and a take, this is Nick from the Scoreboard Addicts podcast, and that was your 5-minute update.